All right, ladies and gentlemen, another Sunday, another update video. So let's see. I don't know what I said last week. I don't remember at all. I think I was just talking about the outreach strategy. Oh yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So the outreach strategy that I figured out, I thought it was smart. I thought it was genius. I thought it was gonna be the best thing ever, and I've been sending all week this week, and I got just one response. So it's not great. It's like about 100 messages and one response. So I don't know if it's because it was New Year's. I highly doubt it. Maybe it would just dumb it down or influence it slightly, but I don't believe that it would make it this negative, basically. But I still do have some pre-made free value from the holidays week, which I made. So I may send them this week as well. Issue is I have a huge test at uni. Well, not test, it's a exam, right? An oral exam. And it's really difficult, so I'll have to lock in for this week. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to send outreach, which kind of sucks. But worst case scenario, I just send it the week after, which like doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm gonna see about it. I don't really know. It all depends on the time I have, sadly, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice this week. But the good thing is, after that exam, which is on Wednesday in a week and a half from now, I have 2 weeks of just nothingness. So again, I'll be able to grind back, and then I'm starting back school in like mid-February or at the start of February. I'm not really sure. But the good thing is going to be that the nearest exams will be a few months away from February. So I'm going to have at least a month or two minimum to just really lock in, and figure out this outreach. Even if I don't get clients, I really just want to figure out how to get responses consistently. And I was thinking about this. So Instagram is good, but the issue with it is it's really unpredictable, because it really depends on the kind of brand I message, right? Let me explain. So there are certain brands which are corporate. Now, these brands either don't respond to their messages, right? They just have a ManyChat automation on Instagram, or they have a social media manager who couldn't care less about my pitch. So, and most of the time it's somebody else, right? So the client I landed, Ryan, he was monitoring Instagram on his own, right? But I don't know how many of the brands I'm messaging are actually like managing their own account, basically, right? So that kind of sucks. And that makes it unpredictable, because no matter how many brands I message, I don't know how many of them are being monitored by somebody else besides the owner, right? So I can be lucky and have a good amount, or I can have none from a batch of 25, let's say, right? So that's the issue. So it's a bit unpredictable, I realize, and that kind of sucks, because I thought this was going to work well. And I think it did at first, because, again, I had luck with actual people, the owners, CEOs, founders, responding to my messages. Whenever it is somebody else, never get a good response, or never book a call even. And it's been a while since I booked a call, so I'm kind of struggling with this right now. But I think what I'm going to do is, after the exam, I'm going to figure out LinkedIn. And the reason being is, I think LinkedIn is the best right now, mainly because if somebody is active on LinkedIn, which is mostly ecom founders, then it can be a good way of standing out, because most people just send email, right? And email is botched because, like, probably most founders wouldn't even read their email, because they're just on any Apollo, any scraping list, and they're just getting bombarded. So it would be hard to stand out. But I think that if I did LinkedIn directly to the founder, I think that could be a really good way of getting responses. Now, the issue is, when I was choosing, I think I talked about this, when I was choosing between Instagram or LinkedIn, I thought that I had more experience with Instagram, which is true, but then I kind of realized this issue, which makes me think that I'm going to probably have to end up with LinkedIn or email. Now, email is, again, I tried that. It was, again, unpredictable, depending on the person. But LinkedIn, I don't see an issue with that, because I would say 95% of the time, it's actually monitored by the owner themselves, right? I do really don't think that many people will have ghostwriters. And even if they do, I would still think that they check their own profile, right? And this is the issue for Instagram. Like, brands have Instagrams, but it's a brand, it's not the founder. But on LinkedIn, it's the actual founder itself. So I think that's a huge benefit. Plus, I've discovered that the Sales Navigator edition or add-on or whatever you call it, it's like, I think 100, 200 a month, which is not that bad. I can afford that. But apparently the Sales Navigator is like the best thing ever for lead sourcing. So if that would save me time lead sourcing as well, which is like half of sending outreach and making free value, that would be fantastic. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to send out the rest of the free value I have, which is like for 3 more days, maybe 4 or 3.5. I'm not sure. And then maybe wait for follow-ups. But I really don't think that from these 100 and 200 messages, this test batch that I did for this strategy, which I thought was going to crush, I don't think it's going to be as good, right? So in terms of results. So I think I have 2 options. I can either go back to the strategy before, which worked well, which was just sending pop-ups, which would be a bit easier, or I can do LinkedIn. So this is something I'm going to have to think about this week. Again, I'm just going to be studying, unfortunately. It's what it is. I'll last a week, and then we'll be free. But that's the issue. I'm just so close, because right now I have the case study. So I have proof of concept. I know how to deliver. I know how to, I guess, make emails, right? Write emails. It's not that difficult. It's still hard, but it's not like something I don't have figured out, because right now I have it figured out, at least to some extent. What I need right now is an outreach system that works. And for crying out loud, this has been taking me months. And the issue is I can't find anything good out there. So I think I'm just going to really resort to YouTube and trying to find an approach. But I don't know, maybe I'll build my own approach for LinkedIn. I really don't know, because that's what I need to find. If I can figure it out, it's over, because I have proof of concept, which means if I get people on calls, I can finally charge at a certain good price. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. This has been on my mind, and this is what I'm going to be doing. I hope you're all doing well, and yeah, that's pretty much all from me. I'll see you next week, hopefully with some newly gained wisdom and knowledge. Okay? Peace.